up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video now. In this particular video clip, this woman is going to be talking about how her and all her black girlfriends are struggling in the dating market and how the majority of them are single and they're having a hard time with dating down. So we're gonna get into this video. I definitely want you guys to chime in the comments. I want to get your thoughts on this. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you like the content, share and like the video, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
So I just went to brunch with a couple of my homegirls after church, and there were 5 of us. 4 of us were black, 1 was white. And the 4 of us black girls were single, and the white girl is in a happy, healthy, thriving relationship. Her partner is Hispanic, and they have been dating for a few months now, but like the normal progression: met, hit it off, went on a few dates, got in a relationship, long distance right now, meeting parents soon, like the normal. Okay, no gray, no limbo, no nothing like that. And then me and all my black homegirls are talking about our relationship status, and all of us are single.
Is that ironic? Shouldn't, as educated black women, you would, look at that and kind of try to figure out why that is? Is it just, you can't find a guy, or does it have something to do with you? Does all these black women who are single have something in common? This is where you would take an educated guess to kind of, look introspectively and try to figure out why is it that when it comes to you and all your black friends, all of y'all are single, all of y'all are in the same boat. But when it comes to other races of women, they don't seem to have a problem getting a man, no matter what race he is, sparking a connection, dating, meeting the parents, and eventually they'll be married. And the majority of the black women will still be single. Why is that? We're gonna get to the root of it, but let's continue.
All of us are like actively dating, some more active than others, but nonetheless single. But then we're kind of telling the stories of like the guys that we're talking to or have gone on recent dates with, and like these struggle stories are insane. And for reference, we're all in between 27 and 29, maybe 30. Why is this the commonality with me and all my black girls? Like faithfully, not just this group of black girls, but like so many, my closest friends, my black girlies that I've met on assignments, out, like all my black girlies that exclusively date black men are on a struggle bus.
Well, I mean, before we proceed, it's not shocking. It's the mentality of a lot of our women, unfortunately. Unfortunately for black women, they have this mentality that they're better than the average man. So the men that they're looking to date are outside of their realm, and the men who would be interested in them, they're not interested in them. And so the reality of modern dating is that women have priced themselves way too high. They don't want to, what they consider, date down. They don't want an average man because they feel and believe that because they are educated, they are better than blue collar workers and regular average everyday men. And what this is causing is, of course, they're having a problem when dating because they don't want to date average men. They feel and believe that the man has to make what they make or more. So it will be dating down for them, and they refuse to do it. Not understanding that other races of people don't view dating and relationships the way a lot of black women do. And this is why other races of women will find someone, date them, end up getting married and creating their family and building their lives together, while black women are still on this idea that they're dating down and that they will not settle, which will render them single for the rest of their lives. Let's continue.
That I know who date outside their race, outside of our black race, were looked at as lames in the black community.
Yeah.
It wasn't a situation where it's like, okay, now I grew up aspiring to be with a white woman. What the story is typically I grew up, I was in my black neighborhood, I didn't fit in, the women didn't want me, I would shoot my shot and they would curve me over and over and over again. But then when I went to talk to this white girl, she was vibing with me and we just picked it up and then went from there. So now I date white women now. But it's not a situation where it's like, oh no, I was bred, I was taught since young, and oh no, I want to be the white woman. Black woman, hell no, I'm good. Now, when the same dude, that nerd who was lame in the neighborhood, you wasn't given no opportunity. Hell no, I don't want to go on no date. Just get away from me. Da, da, da. The same dude 15 years later is a multimillionaire. And now he's dating a white woman and you looking at him like, oh, it's sold out.
And that's a fact. That's a fact for so many men. And women know it. You know, women are still out here talking about, oh, it's time to date the lame man. It's time to date the corny man. That's where we should be headed. But these are the very men that they didn't want back in the day. And now that these men are doing well for themselves, they're trying to circle back and try to see if they can spark a relationship with these guys, not because you really are interested in them, but because they can provide for you and take care of you, because the providers that you're looking for don't want you. And so I think women have set themselves up for failure. I think they will continue to, because I don't think they ever will decide to change and understand the importance of a relationship and building family. They're so focused on the money aspect. And now that if they are making the money, they just can't fathom the idea of working with a man and contributing to a relationship in its totality with a man and building your family. They just can't fathom it. And they have never in their lives had a man to take care of them. They've always had to take care of themselves because that's what they were raised and taught to do. So they don't understand the dynamics of working with a man. They think that, hey, I've taken care of myself. I've made it. I've been doing well. I don't really need him, but I want him. So he has to get on my program and I want him to be a traditional man. So a lot of black women have bought into this feminist idea that they can take care of themselves and all by themselves and they don't need a man and that they can do this. But I don't think they've contemplated that they will have to do this for the rest of their lives. I don't think most women want to have to be in a situation where they're taking care of themselves fully by themselves for the rest of their lives. I think it's cute to say when you're young, but as you get older, that narrative doesn't seem to really pan out. And a lot of women, as they get older, they start trying to look for some type of companion because they realize, dang, they didn't want to do it all by themselves for the long haul. They only want to do it for a specific amount of time. And then they wanted their Prince Charming to come in and sweep them off their feet and give them this life of leisure, and they can sit back and just, be a princess and not have to do anything. But that is an unrealistic mentality, and I think a lot of women are figuring that out. But let's continue.
And a part of me is like, just get off the bus, date other races, start dating any other race. And there is something in my stomach that immediately just gets sick at that thought. I want black love. I once read this article and it was saying how black women need to start dating outside of their race because it's not working. Like, it broke down all these statistics and all these things. And I did a poll on my Instagram story. Like, would you rather date down or date down within your race? So date down with a black man. So, let go of some of your non-negotiables, a man that makes less than you, a man that whatever your non-negotiables are, date down from those, or date white.
Well, and the thing about that is that you can go out and date whoever you like to date, but it doesn't mean that it's going to fare well for you. Dating outside your race is not going to make it easier. There are things that you're still going to have to compromise on. There are things that you're still going to have to bring to the table. If you think it's hard dating black men, and only because most women don't want to adhere to a black man, but if you're willing to adhere to a different race of a man, you still got to understand that you have to bring something to the table. Those men are more strict on their rules and what they require and what they will not accept and what they will. So you still gonna have to bring something to the table. You can't go over there half stepping either. You're gonna have to get on their program or get gone. And they're definitely not marrying white men or other races of men in droves, because majority of people date within their race. Most white men date and marry white women. Most black men date and marry black women, and so on and so forth. So it's not like that's happening in huge numbers. So we have to start looking at ourselves and start wondering, why is it that as black women, the black women that are single, why is it that they're having so much of a hard time dating and marrying anybody? That shows that there's a problem within. The call is coming from inside the house. Let's continue.
The majority of black women said they would rather date down. And I'm like, what is the chokehold? I'm asking myself, what is the chokehold? Like, I myself would rather date down than date outside of my race.
Well, and I think, they're calling it dating down, but you're just going to have to reevaluate the way you look at men and what is your goal for a man and a relationship. Are you worried about somebody just taking care of you fully? Are you worried about a good man? Are you looking for love? Are you looking for a man who actually loves you and want to build with you? Are you looking to build with a man? Because if you make a certain amount of money and he makes good money, really it shouldn't be a debate over, oh my God, he has to make way more than me or I'm dating down. No, because the opposite wouldn't be said for men who make more. Which brings me to this clip here that I actually did a video on this a while back, and I wanted to pull it back up because I thought this was important to share it. Let's continue.
Women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. And this is changing the age-old mentality that men are the breadwinners. And researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, a man who...
dating down.
So women, we're more educated now. And so with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job, really career driven. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one because you're dating down.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I say this all the time. Now that women are making the money and they feel and believe they can take care of themselves and they don't need a man, it looks a lot different from men who are the breadwinners. And and they are expected to take care of a family and provide and protect and do all of these things. But when you have a situation, the way we're seeing now in modern society where women are, some women are the breadwinners and they are taking care of themselves, then that whole situation has to change. You shouldn't be looking for a man to provide 100% of the financial load when you are able to work and make money yourself. In my opinion, you should not be expecting a man to come in bringing 100% of the financial load when you are able to work, because you're not providing 100% of the household work, being at home and taking care of the household. Women don't want to do that. So why should the man bring 100% of the financial load if he don't have a full-time housewife at home taking care of the housework and the kids? If she's not willing to do that, he shouldn't be responsible for 100% of the financial load, in my opinion. That's just how I see it. I think y'all should work together. I think now you're going to bring in a different dynamic that we probably have not seen as much, but also like we mentioned in the live stream, back in the day, as black women and black men and women both had to work. We didn't have a large number of situations where the woman just stayed at the home and the man worked. They had to work together, so they had to do it together. So if we take on that mentality now that, hey, it's a team effort, it's a working togetherness that actually builds the family and help us to grow together, then I think we could get somewhere. But as long as we have modern women who are modern women and not wanting to have any type of traditional role in the household, and they want to work outside, but they want to keep their money, and you want the man to pay everything, that's going to be a problem. And I think most men are not going to want to settle for that. And the reason why a lot of black women are single is because they don't want to do that. In other cultures of women and men, they work together. They start businesses together. They work together. They combine their finances and they build their lives together. Somehow within the black community, a lot of, black women don't want to do that. And I think that's why a lot of them will continue to be single. Let's continue.
It's so frustrating. I wish I had more to say than that. I am very frustrated with dating at this point. And I get the girlies that are like, decenter men and focus on your relationship with God and focus on your friendships and da-da-da-da. And that's what my 20s has been all about. My friends, traveling, catching a fight, doing whatever I want to do, spending money willy-nilly. Like, that's what I do. Like, y'all not trying to come home to the same person every day? Y'all not trying to fold his laundry? Y'all not trying to cook dinner? Y'all not trying to go to Pilates after you make your kids lunch? Oh, we got different goals.
Listen, so y'all let me know what y'all think of this video. I just think, a lot of work would have to be done. We really got to start focusing on what's important, because the way a lot of women think, in my opinion, is hindering them from getting what they want. Anytime you're trying to establish a relationship with anyone, you have to be willing to work together. That's the only way it's going to work. The majority of relationships that have stood the test of time are the ones that work together. The only way we're going to work this out is if we start understanding what's important and trying to work with each other and stop thinking that one is better than the other and somebody's looking for everything and the other one gets nothing. That is never going to work. That never will work in any relationship, and that's why we are in this predicament that we're in. So listen, once again, y'all chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Let me know what you think. Do you think we'll ever get it right? Do you think it'll ever change, or do you think it's just lost in the sauce? Let me know in the comments. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Comment, like, subscribe, you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.